Mahatma, various aspects of Bhagavad Gita you have covered. Now, this is a very important aspect that we have in Prakriti and Kala. Before that, there will be few, recaps. I will just take you through so that it'll help you to understand this topic better. So we spoke about that. Who is God? So the God is a supreme controller, and we also are controller, but we are minute controller. How we can understand this? So the analogy to understand this is that a drop of ocean is not different from the entire ocean in terms of its quality. It has the same sublime qualities, same salty water, right? But what makes the difference between a drop of ocean and the entire drop is the potency, the energies, and what all things a huge ocean can do. It can bring tsunami, it can maintain oceans, it can maintain islands, right? So that is the difference between God and us. We are same in terms of quality, but not in terms of quantity. That's why we have also have some controlling ability, which we have borrowed from Lord, we borrowed from Krishna, but he's the one who supreme controls. And how do we define God? So somebody who has all six opulences and we can in full, unlimited quantity, we can say he is God, right? So we spoke about somebody who is very famous, somebody who is very rich, very powerful, very knowledgeable, know, so much of so much of renunciation, right? So all these things, if somebody has it, so that we can call him God. Nobody in this entire cosmos can say that I have this. If you meet a billionaire, he'll have power, he'll have money, he'll have maybe fame, but then he cannot have renunciation. Renunciation means if you have so much of wealth, the next day, if you will be asked, leave everything and become a sadhu, can they do that? No. There's so much of attachment involved. But God has everything. So that's why he's God and we are not. Apart from that, we know that there are two ways to acquire knowledge. Any knowledge we talk about. So one is ascending and another is descending. When we say ascending, it primarily relies upon our own perception, what we do, what we experience, what we feel, and then we conclude that thing, and then we'll say that, okay, this is the fact. And there's another way of getting knowledge, which is called descending, wherein the knowledge comes from the top, the self-realized souls, and we follow it. So primarily, there are two ways to get the knowledge. Now, which one is better? The obvious question comes, right? So we have to look in this way. The problem with the first model, which is ascending, is that we tend to do mistakes because our mind, our senses are not perfect. Today we are thinking this, tomorrow we're thinking that. Today what we are thinking is correct. We are full confident that this is right. But tomorrow we'll say, oh, okay, I think that was the wrong decision I've taken. Because we have given born with the imperfect senses. So we tend to do mistakes, right? And that is the main problem with that. So when it comes to other model, which is descending knowledge, acquiring descending knowledge, it is perfect because somebody who has perfected themselves is showing you the way how to get this knowledge in terms of Guru Parampara, in terms of in terms of the spiritual master. He's giving you that knowledge. So it saves time. So we have 4 Vedas, 104 Upanishads, and many Puranas, 18 Puranas, and many other scriptures. So if we have to learn, read everything, understand everything, and then arrive at conclusion, it will take us ages. One birth is not enough. Forget about just spiritual matter, any other matter, any scientific thought. We see the article saying that this has happened, scientists conclude this. Have you gone back and check what was the assumption they have taken in their study? What was the limitation they have taken in their study? What was the variable factors in their study? No, we don't do that. We just tend to believe that this is the energy, this is gravitational force, this is the wave, this is how mobile phone works, this is the new technology coming in. We believe that because we cannot spend so much of time, right? So similarly, we follow the same pattern called descending in our spiritual matter as well, wherein the knowledge, spiritual knowledge, has been departed by the Lord Himself, and then it comes to self-realized souls, and then comes to spiritual master, and then we surrender to spiritual master and get the knowledge. So we save time, and there is very less chance of doing mistakes. Similarly, so the Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that he has come to this world to give knowledge. So this Bhagavad Gita that we are about to study in full detail in next 18 days chapter is the knowledge given by Lord Himself, right? And it's a very famous shloka when Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chadushritam. Krishna says, I'm giving you the knowledge, I'm coming. And then Paritranaya sadhunam, I am coming to deliver the souls. To deliver the souls. So deliver the soul is the first priority of Krishna. To enjoy with the devotees, the first priority of Krishna. Then he says, Vinashaya chadushritam. In the journey, he will kill a few of the demons in this world who are creating the disturbance. And then he will establish the religion. Sarv samsthapanadhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And he's saying that he will do it every millennium, millennium after millennium. So Bhagavad Gita will told by Krishna always. He'll always give us this knowledge to some people, and then it will come to us in every yuga. That is what Krishna is saying. Let's go back, a couple of steps here. Now, we know that we have many sufferings in this world. We are, three ways that we can suffer. First is we get suffering from our own mind. Somebody who has a businessman who is, number one businessman in this world, but he also suffers seeing the competition. Will I be dethroned from my first ranking? He has a tension, he has a stress, he has anxiety, he's in pain, right? So this is one of the way that we give suffering to ourselves. And then there are other people who give suffering to us. Somebody who robs us, somebody who say harsh words to us, right? Our boss threatens us, relationship issues where partners give each others some pain. And then the third is material nature in terms of catastrophic. You have tsunami, you have flood, earthquake, COVID, all those things. So there are no fourth source which can give you pain. Only three are the sources which can give you pain, right? So now why we are talking about all this thing? Because what we are going to discuss is the background of, is the basis of that. Now, Krishna has, Krishna has many energies, many energies. So there's basically three energies he's have, which is called Prakriti, Yogmaya, and there's marginal energy we'll talk about. But the point is, why Krishna is having this many energies, and why Krishna, these energies impact us, we need to understand that. Before that, let's try to understand. Krishna has given us free will, as we have discussed in the beginning of the class, that we are also minute controller. But Krishna has given us intelligence. Krishna has given us scriptures. Krishna has given us spiritual masters to read the scriptures, to understand it from our intelligence, and to get the understanding developed from spiritual masters. This is what free will Krishna has given us. Similarly, if you see in our society, we have citizens and we have some citizens who are in jail. Why they are in jail? Because they have misused their free will. Somebody has robbed a bank, somebody has killed someone, somebody has being violent to other person. What is this? This is a misuse of our free will. So if we misuse our free will, more violation of the laws of the land, more our free will contained and curtailed and will be sent to jail. And it's, but the why the citizens obey obey the the rules of the land because they fear. What do they fear? The fear is that there is no guarantee that the next life will be human life. That is the problem. That's why they obey the law of the land in the spiritual realm I'm talking about. But you see the other forms, you see a cat and a dog and a worm cannot do what a human can do. Human has given so much of intelligence, the highest level of consciousness, because we are expected to use the intelligence and follow the laws of the land, follow the rules of this body, follow the rules of this material nature, and then go back to our Godhead. But then few people don't do that and they end up in jail. Similarly, this human form of body is the only body which can give you moksha. No other body can give you. So what do you do to do today in this life is decide what kind of body you get in the next birth. That's how you use your free will in expected way. You're not misutilizing your free will. So now, how does Lord's energy impact upon our free will? That is the thing that we are going to discuss. So try to understand this. There is an energetic and there is an energy. Energy is held by the energetic, just like the sun holds the energy of heat and light. Sun is at one place, but its heat and light is spread across, right? Sun is far, far, million of trillions of light years away from us, but his energies are acting upon us. Similarly, Krishna, primarily, Krishna is an energetic who holds all the energy. But then Srimati Radharani is the primary energy of the Lord, and from her, all the other energies are created in this world. So, including all the Lakshmis in this world, in every universes you have different Vishnus and different Lakshmis. They all emanates from Srimati Radharani. She is the she's the energy, primary energy of the Lord. From them, there is three types of energy got emanated. First is called marginal energy or Prakriti. Now, this energy in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, is inferior in quality and separated from the Lord. The spiritual energy, which is Yog Maya, this is superior in terms of quality, but it is always with the Lord. It is not separated with the Lord. And then the third is called marginal energy, which we'll discuss later. Let's talk about the material energy first. So Krishna says that this is inferior. This is inferior because this is represented by Durga Devi. So whatever planet that we are staying in, this is Prakriti. This is, Krishna says, is my energy, but it is inferior to us. And it is separated from us. So Durga Devi is the universal mother for this. For this, in this energy. And her job is to punish the violators in this world who does not follow the rules created by Krishna. Then you have spiritual energy, which is superior and never separated. Why superior? Because the function of this energy is to get us towards Krishna, whereas the function of material energy to take us away from Krishna. That is why it's called Yoga Maya. The material energy is called Mahamaya. So Yoga Maya ensures that devotees enjoy with the Lord, and Lords also have a relationship with them, and there is no problem in their life. But somebody who is not connected to Yoga Maya through Lord, then the Mahamaya or the Prakriti works for him. And how it works, we'll discuss in the later slides. Now the third, which is called marginal energy. Now this is very interesting. Krishna says that this is Out of inferior or superior, this is superior, but this is separated. And what is this energy? Me and you. All the living souls in this world are this energy, marginal energy that Krishna says, right? So, material energy is also called Bahiranga Shakti, spiritual energy is called Antaranga Shakti, and marginal energy is called Tathastha Shakti. Now we'll take it one by one. Now we understand the Prakriti. So, this Prakriti is in charge of creating everything in this material world. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this Prakriti works under my supervision. So we can, there are some mental speculators which say that this Prakriti is independent, there is no God. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this Prakriti works under my jurisdiction and, within my supervision. And what is the nature of this Prakriti? Krishna says it is temporary and full of miseries. Why temporary? Now, Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita that there are there and this entire material universe, material cosmos, is 1/4 of his creation. There is 3/4 or 75% of creation, which is spiritual world, where the free wills are not curtailed. Everyone is enjoying, everyone is happy. Not like us who are suffering with everything. Just like if you see in our cities itself, the jail are for very few people, but the citizens who live freely on the streets are way higher in terms of number. Why? Because they follow the Lord, they follow the laws. So Krishna says, if you are not following the laws, that's why I've created this material world for you, which is temporary and full of misery. Now, why this is full of misery? A big question, right? Krishna would have created this like a spiritual world. But how are these misery and why this is happening? We'll discuss in later slides. So Krishna says that this is more like a prison to us. And the analogy that we have is fish out of water. So when you are free, you're not suffocated. You enjoy yourself to fullest. Everybody. Just like a fish when she is in water. She enjoys herself, enjoying, playing, eating. There's no suffocation. But when you put her out of the water, she'll not feel good. Similarly, that happens with me, with all of us. If you see, if I'll give you a sweet to eat, you'll eat, you will feel good. I'll give you two, you'll be more happy. I'll give you three, you'll be more happy. I'll give you four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, then you'll be like, no, it is not giving me joy anymore. It used to give me joy when I had three, four, but now I cannot eat it more. Why? What has happened? You used to enjoy, right? But where is that enjoyment gone? It is the same sweet, same you, same taste, no adulteration, but where is the joy gone? Where is the happiness gone? That is called the temporary nature of this material nature. Our joy is also temporary, unlike in a spiritual world where everything is permanent. Even if you eat thousands of sweets, it'll be as tasty as the first one. So this is the analogy that we are fish out of water. Now talk about the Prakriti or material energy. Krishna says 9.10 Madhyakshena Prakriti Suyate cha Characharam Hetuna Nena Kaunteya Jagat Vipar Vipartate. He says this material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. Remember, we are talking about the supervision. Krishna is proclaiming that my energies, one of out of many, and producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created again and again. So here, understand this. Our one day, our 1 year is one day of Devatas. Similarly, Brahma one day is 8.6 billion years of our life. That is how Lord Brahma's one day is. And then he has 100 years like that. So his total age is 311 trillion years. So, for example, not talk about our schedule. So when we woke up in morning, what is our schedule? We do the brush, we fresh, and we take bath, we take food, and then we go to office, and then we do the come back. This is the regular routine every day. Similarly, every living and being, including Lord Brahma, has a routine. Now, what is his routine? He is being charged to do a creation by the Supreme Lord, that you have to do a creation. So when he woke up in the morning, the first thing he has to do is he has to create. He has to take the energies from the raw energies from the Lord, and he has to create the forms, the hills, the mountains, everything which you see around in this world, created by Lord Brahma. But when he goes to bed, all the planets, all the universes are into water, Garbhodak Sagar, because that is called partial annihilation or partial pralay. That is what and the next day when Brahma wakes up, he has to do creation again. This is Brahma's job every day. So that's what Krishna says in here. The last point in this verse, under its rule, the manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So Krishna is saying this cycle of time is very, very cycling in nature. It goes annihilation and then creation, annihilation, creation, annihilation, creation. It is ever going. And in charge of this creating everything is material world. And Durga Devi ensures that there is a living and non-living in this world and moving and non-moving in this world. And it works with supervision of the Supreme Lord. But when the Brahma dies after 360, after 100 years, then with him, all the universes dies. That is called full annihilation when the Brahma dies. Now, what is the nature of this material world? As we have discussed, it is temporary and full of miseries. Here is a shloka which Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, Mam upattaya punarjanma dukhalaya ashashvatam naptavanti mahatmana shram siddhim param gatah. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never returns to this temporary world which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. So Krishna is saying that now you are suffering in this material world, but there are many great souls who have come out of this world and who are able to return back to my world, who have freed themselves from all the miseries of this world, who have got the permanent body, unlike ours body. So he's saying who are yogis in devotion, who have devoted to the bhakti yoga system, they would never have to return back, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. So you can say, okay, if I'll follow everything, I'll go, I'll go out of this jail, I'll do the crime again, I'll come back, right? Krishna says, no, you will never come back. This is his promise. You'll never come back to this world. Now, what is this Prakriti? Krishna says, or this analogy says, a prison without walls and lock. Imagine a prison where there is no wall, there is no roof. You are free to go anywhere in this world. Will it look like a prison? No, right? That is what is happening. We don't feel we are in prison. Why so? Few of us, we don't feel that. We will come to that in the next slides. But here, Krishna says 7.4. Bhumir aponala vayu khama mano buddhir ivacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritir ashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego all together. These eight constitute my separated material energies. Remember, we talked about energies which are separated, which is Prakriti. So, this is the component. These eight are components: earth, fire, water, air, and ether. And this is very subtle. As you go from earth towards water to fire and ether, it becomes more and more subtle. So, earth you can smell, you can touch, you can lift it, right? But the water has additional property. It can evaporate. It is more subtle in form. Fire you cannot touch. Air you can touch, you can feel, but you cannot see. Ether is a space which we are not sure what exactly it is. We are not able to describe it. More subtler is our mind. That same mind, which from our thought can take us from here to Paris in within fraction of a second. The same mind, which we are able to create so many technological advancements in this world to control other living entities, to control huge animals in this world, technology, computer, supercomputer, with this mind. It is so subtle. And there is intelligence, which we can use it in the right way. And then you have false ego. So Krishna says these are my eight this energies, and this is what the ingredient of this material nature. Now, the question is, what is holding you back? Remember, we discussed in the last slide. Krishna says, Sattvam rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhavaha nidapnani mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So, this slide, wherein we talked about marginal energy, and we said that we are we are superior, but we are separated. So, if we are superior, why don't we feel that we are superior? Why don't we feel like we are perfect? What is the reason? Because Krishna says himself that superior energy is something which is perfect, just like Radharani. But we are not. What is the problem? Because we are separated. And once we are separated, and why we are separated will come in the end, we'll discuss. And when we are separated, it comes in contact with three forces of this material energy. So these three forces called Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun, this controls this entire universe. Not a single living entity in this world is out of this. Everybody is conditioned. So when I'm saying conditioning, or this guna's impact, how does it impact? To understand the analogy, you can understand. If I'm seeing myself in mirror and the mirror is clean, I'll see what exactly I am. But when there is so much of dust in it, I cannot see my face. I cannot see who I am. That's what these forces does to us. So this is what is prison for us. But how does it prison? How does we call it prison? Well, let's try to understand this. Everybody is born in Rajogun. What is Rajogun? Rajo means is passion, desire to enjoy, desire to achieve something, whole lot of desire. Our mind is full of desires. So everybody is born in Rajogun. But then we have an option, we have a choice. By choosing our intelligence to work in a proper way, we can uplift ourselves to Satogun, or we can downgrade ourselves to Tamogun. So the problem with Satogun is that even if you are upgrading yourself from Rajogun to Satogun, that means everything is nice. I have a nice family. I have high paying 7 to 8 figures income job. I have good body. There is no disease in my body. Psychologically, I am good. My mind is working fine. I have a very good partner. I have nice neighbor, I have nice pet, I have nice car, property, right? Everything is world is good for me. When everything is good, do you feel that there is a space for God? Do you feel that, oh, we should look out for, we should do chanting, we should try to approach Krishna, right? No, you are happy. And that is what is a kind of chain. So all three are chain. One is a chain of gold, another is a chain of silver, and third is a chain of iron. All three binds you in your hand. But the Satugun is a chain of gold. You are you are too happy to see that, oh, you have so much of gold in your hand, but you don't understand the same gold is binding you. That what is the nature of Satugun. Yeah. So there is 200 shlokas in Bhagavad Gita which talks about this gunas. 200 shloka out of 700 shlokas. So you can understand how important to understand these three forces which are active 24 by 7 to all of us. And Krishna is giving details in 200 shlokas about all this. So when you go to our 18 days classes, after this sessions are over, we'll understand these things in great detail. Yeah. So Krishna says that you become conditioned by these three modes. Now, the nature of, so we understand the satogun, rajogun, what's tamagun? Right? Tamagun is extreme madness, wherein you violate every law of this world. Whatever in scripture says, you don't do that, you do it. And then what is the repercussions? The warning is that the next birth will be not human. And your freedom will be curtailed. You will be in type of jail. Just like if you go to jail, you have some extreme jails wherein there is no light, there is no sound, you cannot see the sun, you can not be given food. That is the very hardest prison. And then some cells have light, even if they can get you newspaper, you can have food, table, chair to read. And then you have some VIP jails wherein you can get everything. So similarly, all these jails have facility, but ultimately everything is a jail. Similarly, the Satogod, Rajogod, Tamogod is kind of jail in different levels. The crossover. Now, till the time we have talked about many problems. But what's the solution? Right? So Krishna is merciful. Krishna tells us, hey, I told you the problem, but I have a solution. 7.14, Krishna says, Devi haya isha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. The first half is a problem and the second half is a solution. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. He's saying it is difficult, you cannot overcome. But then in the next line, it says, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So Krishna is saying, I can take you out of this jail. All the measures will be gone. You will be given full freedom. Your body will be permanent. Your planet will be permanent. Right? There will be no pain in your life. But what's the condition? Surrender. You surrender to me. If you don't surrender, this will not go. Think of example wherein you are into jail, but you have got good relationship with the jailer. You'll get freedom, right? So Krishna can take you out of this jail, provided you surrender to him. But what is the problem? Why don't we surrender? Right? Why don't we surrender? What is the problem? The problem is our mind. The problem is our ego, which says, I don't need God. I am good on my own. I can control this body. I can control the temperature. I can control the breath. Right? Can we do that? No. We don't have a control over this body. 2 degrees up and down in this body, and we are on bed, we are on medications. A little bit of, we go to the altitude on the hills, somebody who is not used to of hills, he'll get suffocated. Oxygen is not, you know, appropriate for the body. And we feel that we can do everything. We don't need God, right? Who is doing all that? If I'm breathing, am I consciously breathing? No, it is happening on their own. Who is doing that? The engineers know. If you have created something which is automated, that does not create it on its own. You have created it, right? If there is a design, good design, there must be a designer. If there is a painting, there must be a painter. If there is a creation, then there must be a creator. And Krishna says, surrender unto me. But many a times, we don't approve the existence of creator itself. That what's bind us more and more into these three gunas. Now, the third energy we talked about. Now, remember we talked about we have a free will. Now, what is that free will? The free will is we have a choice. What choice? Try to understand with this analogy. A cat standing on the wall on the left, she has rats. On the right, she have a bowl full of creamy milk. What would she do? Similarly, we have an option to select Yogamaya and remain in jail, or to select the Mahamaya. Sorry, to select the Mahamaya and remain in jail, or to select the Yogamaya, Krishna or Radharani, and then get out of this jail and get permanent life and permanent happiness. What should we choose? That is what we are called marginal energy or Tathastha Shakti. We are at the margin. We can go here and we can go there. Depends on what we choose. Now, a little bit about spiritual energy or the Yogamaya and the spiritual world. So, this spiritual world is completely opposite of the material world. So, the material world is called, spiritual world is called Vaikuntha. The meaning of Kuntha means anxiety, miseries, problems, and Vai means without. So, that spiritual world does not have any problem. There is no anxiety. Whereas we know the material world, we are always anxious. We don't have job, we don't have good wife, don't know car, right? We always lament about many things. But that is completely opposite of material world. That is permanent and full of ananda. Everybody enjoys there because there is no struggle for our existence. There is no birth, there is no death, there is no 9 to 5 job, there is no, perishment of the food. Everything is remain eternal. But there is one change. In this material world, we feel that we are the one who are the controllers. We are the one who have many titles. We are the vice president. We are father. We are the car owners. We are we are the owner of this company. All those titles that we have. And what does these titles suggest? That we are controllers. In the spiritual world, the best title that everybody gets, is a servant. And what do servants do? They please the Lord and they are happy. So this is the water and the fish. They are happy. We also have a choice to become happy, provided we surrender to Lord. And then we choose and we listen to spiritual masters and read Bhagavad Gita in coming days. The 18-day session we are going to conduct post this to understand in more detail how to surrender. So surrender can be of many types. Somebody can verbally surrender. Oh, I surrender unto you, but I'll do what I want. Lowest level of surrender. Then somebody, I'll surrender unto you, I'll do what you want. Start doing it, but it will do the things on his own way. He is doing something which I need, but not what I'm saying. And then there is somebody who surrender. I'll I'm surrendering to you. I will do everything what you say. But his mind is not there. His heart is not there. He's doing the work, but he's not loving the work. That means he surrendered by the voice. He surrendered by his actions, but he's not surrendered by his heart. Somebody, and the third one in which our heart, our mind, everything is surrendered. That is the level of surrender we are talking about. That is what take you to Yogamaya or the spiritual world. So this was about till Prakriti. Let's talk about Kal. What is this Kal? So we talked about the cycle of the time. So the days become week, week becomes month, month become year, year become yuga, yuga become kalpa, and then it becomes to pralaya. So we understand that they have four yugas. You have Satoguna, oh sorry, you have uh, four yugas, which is starting from Satyug, then Treta Yuga, then Draupar Yuga, and then Kali Yuga. These four are called one Chatur Yuga, and this is comprises of 43 lakh years or 4.3 million years. And this, when this comes 1,000 times, the cycle goes 1,000 times. It is called one kalpa, and that is one day of Brahma. So this creation always repeats, and then the pralay comes, creation comes, pralay comes. But the point is, why it's happening? Why? Krishna would have just stayed, taken us in our spiritual world, in the jail itself. He'll say, no, no, you stay here, you don't go there. Why you want to go there? Right? You can enjoy with me, no? The problem is that we had so much of desires. It's just like a kid who wants to play and who wants to go out from his mother. And then after playing, he's playing for some time, and then he does not feel good. When he wants to sleep, he'll come back to the mother crying. If the mother will not allow him to go out, then he will always have the desire, and he will never accept the mother with that motherly affection, because his mind will always with desires. I want to enjoy, I want to enjoy, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, and mother is not leaving me, not leaving me, not leaving me. So where is the love? There's no love. Love is where when you are coming back on your own wish. Similarly, we have so much of desire, so Krishna created this material world so that we can enjoy. But after many things, we see that whatever I'm creating, it's going off after a while. Whomsoever I'm loving is dead after a while. What is happening? There's some problem, right? So Krishna created this world and this time factor to make us understand that there is some problem. You're not understanding the right cause, right problem. So Krishna gives us accommodate our changing desires in this material world with the factor of time, and it's a chance for us to reform. He's all loving. He always gives us chance. No matter how many times we offend him, he never lose hopes on us. So this was about the Kal, and this Kal is represented by Lord Shiva. So that's why he's called Mahakal. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, time I am the great destroyer of the worlds. Bhagavad Gita 11.32. Now the real solutions. Now we understand the problem. We understand that we can surrender and we can get out of this material world, right? But there are many things in between. Oh, I can do surrender, but I don't have time. I can do surrender, but uh, I have a bad eating habit. I can surrender, but I cannot tolerate the anger, right? There are so many things in between. And Krishna gives solutions for each and everything. So what's the real solutions? If you have a problem for mind control, we have a shloka 6.35. If a problem To handle failures, you have 2.56. The problem, you know, what to offer to Krishna, we have a solution. If you don't have, the peace that you are looking for, you have solution in 5.29, right? So whatever is the real life problem in this material world, which is given by this Durga Devi, or this material world with these three gunas, Krishna gives a solution in this Bhagavad Gita.